Just kidding. All right, we're recording. Okay, guys, this training is going to be Ruby to Diamond, Ruby to Diamond and above training. So this is our intermediate crew. Most of you guys have been in at least a couple months. So the basics, you kind of get the basics. It's always good to be able to go back and kind of refresh and go back over the basics during your business, because I think sometimes we get so focused on that next goal that we forget it all goes back to the basics, no matter what rank you're in. So I always love doing those trainings when we just go back to the meat and the potatoes of the business, because even me, no matter what rank you're at, it always goes back to that. So we're going to get right into it. So most of you guys on this call have already hit the rank of Ruby. Either you're there now or you've hit it in the past. Hi, Taylor. Or you've hit it in the past. So we're going to go over kind of how to get from Ruby to the next thing. Because I think a lot of people make the mistake of getting to a rank and then just saying, "Oh, I'm just working to maintain," and that's a really dangerous word. I heard one of the VIP leaders talking about this past week, and it really clicked for me. And, we should be so focused on going to the next rank and not simply just maintaining where we're at. When you're maintaining where you're at, you're not growing. Your business is not growing. So even if you, say, for instance, you hit Ruby and you were so excited and you had this team and you got Ruby, and say people quit, okay, you should still be pushing for Emerald. Because here's what's going to happen. In the process of pushing for Emerald or that next rank, your Ruby is going to get built back up, and it's going to be even stronger than ever. But if you lose Ruby, if you go Ruby and you lose it and people quit and then you're like, I just need to maintain Ruby, there's no sense of getting better, growing from that. You're just trying to simply get back to where you already were. And, your business isn't going to grow when you're just trying to get back to where you've already been. Okay, so we always should be even if we lost our rank or even if we kind of took a step back, we should be going for that next rank. Because like I said, in the process, you're building and those people are growing and you're going to get there. Other than simply just saying, I'm just trying to maintain, So let's get that idea out of our head. Like I said, I heard that idea this past week from one of the VIP leaders, and it really, for me, I was like, that's really cool. It really hit me. So I wanted to share that with y'all. Another thing is when you start getting to where you're at, Emerald, Diamond, people are going to quit. Okay. It's the nature of the beast. That's part of it. That's okay. Don't take it personal. It works. Might have not been their vehicle, but it is your vehicle. Okay. So have a day to have a little pity party. Okay. And then you need to move on. Because there's people out there that need this, and we're taking up way too much time getting in our heads and thinking, just thinking about the past, okay? We've got to move on. So people are going to quit. And if you're constantly saying, I'm rebuilding, okay, that's negative too, because we are always building, okay? We're always building. And when you're just like, I've got to rebuild, it's very daunting and just kind of can bog you down when you have that idea in your head that you're rebuilding all the time. No one wants to feel like they're they're building and then they're having to rebuild. We should always just think, you know what? This is the business. The business is all about building, and you continue to build. And when things don't go quite right, we keep building. So take that rebuilding word out of your vocabulary too, and just think, I'm building, and I'm always going for the next rank. Okay. So let's look at the Emerald charts. First, let's look at Ruby. We'll just kind of briefly go over Ruby because it all goes to Ruby. Every rank in the company is based off Rubies. So if you know how to go Ruby and you know how to teach your team to go Ruby, you're going to go Emerald, you're going to go Diamond, you're going to go double, triple, presidential, and ambassador all the way. Because if people on your team are doing this Ruby chart, and it's going to create just this wave, and you're going to get there. In the process of your team promoting, you're going to promote. And it's just going to create this amazing effect. So, like I said, I think everyone on here probably knows what a Ruby chart is, how to go Ruby. But we want to really make sure, because by now, y'all, you've gotten at least a few people on your team that are working. At least a couple. I mean, maybe just one. That's fine. But by now, we should know not only how to go Ruby, but how to make sure we're training our team the importance of going Ruby. Okay. So when we sign up a distributor, we need to make sure they know how to log into their eSuite. Okay. We have to communicate with them, you guys. We have to be their right-hand man for that first 30 days at least. We have to be willing to throw their first wrap party for them, whether it's, online or in person. Because creating rubies, like I said, you're going to promote in the process. Okay. I heard someone say, I think it was Joel Dunn maybe, and he said, the minute you take your eye off yourself and put it on your team, that's when you become successful. Because when you're just looking at what it's going to give you and how you're going to promote and what you can do, and you're not thinking about how to help people under you or on your team, then it just you become selfish, and people on your team will quit and they'll become discouraged. So we need to always make sure that we are looking at helping those in our team go Ruby. Now, let me clarify. We cannot do this business for people, okay? That's a big one, because I think a lot of people get in this business and they're like, she signed up all these distributors. Why didn't she give me any distributors? That's not fair. Okay, that's not how this works. I had a girl the other day call me up and she said, yeah, one of my distributors just said that she's, her enroller told her that she's using her to rebuild and that she's just going to give her distributors. And I'm like, that's not how this works. That's never how this has worked. And more than likely, if you're having to give someone distributors or loyal customers, they're not going to do it anyway. And they're more than likely not going to stick with it because they're not self-driven. So when you have someone come to you and they're like, will you just give me something? Will you just give me a loyal customer? Those aren't going to be the people that you really want to run with, because they're not self-motivated to do it on their own. So that would be a really big red flag to me. So anyway, so why is knowing how to go Ruby so important? Because Ruby is going to get you to Emerald, okay? Knowing how to go Ruby and knowing how to teach your girls how to go Ruby, that's going to get you to Emerald, okay? And Emerald is based off having 2 rubies underneath you and 2 qualified legs. So you've got a ruby here and a ruby here. So when you go Ruby and you teach someone out, 2 other people to go Ruby, you're basically Emerald, okay? And why is going Ruby important for that? Because that's what Diamond is. This is a Diamond chart. And you're looking at this chart and you're like, holy cow, what in the world, okay? Well, let's break it down, because I think when we break it down, it makes it look a lot less scary. So let's break it down. I'm going to get my marker. It's the teacher in me. I'm not going to use red because the rubies are red and I don't want it to clash. So I'm going to get this marker out. And I'm going to break it down so you guys can see an easy way to look at this diamond chart, okay? So I'm going to color code it. I'm going to draw 3 boxes. I'm going to use all different colors. This is fun. And then I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. So if you have a diamond chart, you can do the same, or you can just kind of get this idea and do it later when you have time. But I just want to show you, like, when we break it down and we look at it in a simpler way, how easy it really is. Okay. So here's your diamond chart. Okay, you've got your 3 people up top. These are just 400 legs. These are people that are just getting customers. They're not even getting distributors. So these can be just 3 piddlers up here. Your mom, your second cousin up here, and then your aunt that just want to do you a favor. So here's your 3 people. They're at 400. And then that's it. And you only have to have really 3 people outside of those that are working. I mean, these people up here aren't really, I mean, they're getting some customers. They're at 400. But really, a diamond is based off just having 3 people that are working for Ruby. Like, that's it. And so I think a lot of times we look at this diamond chart and we're like, oh my gosh, that's 25 people on that chart. I can't do that. Like, what is, but if we just think about it this way, okay, here's diamond. We've got our 3 people up here. These people signed up when we first got started because they felt sorry for us. We all have those 3 people. And they're going to be at 400, and they're, you know, kind of our piddlers over there. And then you've got 3 people down here that you've taught how to go Ruby. And you're diamond. Like, you're there. Okay. So think about your chart right now and think about, don't look at it like, okay, I don't have 25 people under me, so that's not going to happen. Don't look at it like that. Look at it like this. Okay. Think about your chart. Think about 3 people on your team. 3, just 3 that are trying. Okay. When I say trying, I mean, they're posting, they're messaging, they're bringing in, some customers, a couple distributors. They really are hungry. They're trying. You need to find those 3 people and you need to just get with them. And you need to say, okay, look, you, me, and you, us 3 musketeers, we're going to get together this month and we're going to go Ruby. And I promise you guys, if you can get with them and just build that relationship and get them excited and get them wanting to go Ruby, you're going to be a diamond in no time. And it's not you going to them and saying, hey, I need to go diamond, so I'm going to need you to go Ruby this month so I can go to diamond because I need to be diamond. No, it's you saying, I want to help you go Ruby. Let's see what we can do. Let's break it down. This is a Ruby chart. Get with them. Here's your Ruby chart. Fill it out with them. Show them how to go Ruby. Because when they go Ruby and you have 2 others go Ruby, guess what? You're a diamond. Okay? So I think that was just like a really basic way to break it down. And just to know that all a diamond is 3 rubies under you working. It's an emerald and a ruby, and an emerald is just 2 rubies. Okay? So I know all of you want to go diamond this month. That's kind of what everyone that's on this call is shooting for, either emerald or diamond. And so, like I said, work with the people who are willing to work. Now, you got to learn to let the other people that are bringing you down, you got to learn to let them go. It's time to let them go. Now, don't give up on people, because you might have someone, that you sign that doesn't do anything. And you're like, okay, she's never going to do anything. Just forget her. Don't do that. But at the same time, like, you got to keep moving forward and focus on the people that are working. And if that person comes around later on, that's great. Don't give up on them. But at the same time, like, don't waste too much energy in the people that aren't going to want it for themselves. Okay. I think that is a huge mistake that a lot of us make. And all it does is it's going to bring you down, period. So one more thing I want to go over before, I feel like I'm flying through this pretty good. It's like surprising for me. Usually I go on and okay, here we go. We're going to go over the steps of success, because I think everybody on this call, including myself, need a refresher course. Okay. So many times my leaders will come to me and they'll say, I don't know why I'm not signing anyone, or I don't know why, like, I'm not promoting, or things just aren't working for me, and I don't know, like, what I'm doing wrong. Okay. And there's 2 questions I ask them. The first question is, when's the last time you wrapped someone? When's the last time you put the wrap on somebody? And the second question I ask is, when's the last time you completed your steps of success? Okay. It's mandatory, period. Like, it's not this thing in our business where it's like, oh, if you do your steps of success, that's like really good. But if not, like, that's fine. You'll still go ambassador one day. Like, probably not. Because more than likely, if you're not doing your steps of success, no one on your team is going to do it. Because they see, okay, my enroller hasn't, and I'm preaching to the choir. Like, you guys, trust me, like, this is hard for me. Like, I'm not, there are months where I do sign, 15 distributors, and there are months when I'm struggling just to get my 3 that month. So I want y'all to know that I struggle with this too. Like, this isn't just like easy peasy for me. It takes work. And when I say that, I tell you, like, I have to work at this. It's hard. But I know that I'm not going to promote, and like, I'm not going to become successful if I'm not doing my steps to success. Okay? Because how can I expect my team to do it if I'm not doing it? So we have to look at it that way. So step 1, we know, join the party. Step 2 is to get your 4 loyals in 30 days. And step 3 is to go Ruby. Okay? we've got to be teaching our new girls this, y'all. We've got to. And there's nothing that's more disheartening than when I get messages from people way down on my team that, you know, they've got double diamond leaders, and they're like, I need help. I have no idea what I'm doing, and no one has reached out to me. What is the steps to success? Like, we've got to make sure that our girls that are signing up understand what this is, okay? And that they, you know, like I said, you can't do it for them, but they need to know what they're doing, period. Take time and invest in your team. And teach them how to go ruby. Because like I said, diamonds are made up of rubies, 3 rubies. So make sure everyone knows how to go ruby. Let me go over another thing. Another thing is, when you go diamond, why is it important to go diamond? Like, what's this big deal about being a diamond, okay? So I'm not like a compensation plan guru. Jason is. He can tell you what's on page 802 of the compensation plan. But I know the basics, and I know it well. But the detailed stuff, I'm not very good at. But I do know this stuff because I'm a red, and I'm all about how am I going to make money? How is this going to benefit financially? So I've understood how this works in your favor when you go diamond. So when you go diamond in the company, you're going to start getting these little bonuses called CAB bonuses, okay? And basically what CAB bonuses are is you're going to get an extra $80 on anyone on your team that becomes Fast Start qualified in their first 30 days. Okay? So say you're the enroller, okay? And you've gone out and you've signed up a distributor. You know how you get that $100 bonus when they get Fast Start qualified, when they get their 2 loyal customers? Okay, well, if you're a diamond, you get an extra 80 on top of that. Okay, and say, I'm just going to use Taylor, for instance, because she's just so beautiful and she's right here in front of me. Taylor, say Taylor goes out and say she's not a diamond, so she goes out and she signs up a distributor, and I enroll Taylor. Well, Taylor goes out and enrolls a distributor, okay? That distributor gets Fast Start qualified. That means they've got their 2 loyal customers in their first 30 days. Well, why am I excited about it? Well, I'm excited about it because I just earned $80 off that girl. Even though I didn't enroll her, she's diamond coded to me. I'm the diamond leader, okay? And let me tell you something. Taylor is going to get her $100 bonus because she enrolled that distributor. And then once Taylor goes diamond, after Taylor goes diamond, the same thing's going to happen to Taylor. Taylor's going to start getting those $80 bonuses off people that she enrolls after she goes diamond on top of the $100 Fast Start bonus. So y'all see how that like starts adding up? And that's why it's important to go diamond fast. Because everyone that you signed up before you go diamond, you're not getting cabs off them. After you go diamond, that's when the cabs start kicking in. After you go diamond, when you enroll someone, you get that extra $80 on your check. So that's why we say, get to diamond as fast as you can. So that really adds up. Let me go ahead and tell y'all right now. So if you're looking to make some money, go diamond. Go diamond. Teach 3 people on your team to go ruby and go diamond. You can do it. Guys, there are people that have gone diamond in a month. There are people who have gone, my friend Mackenzie Schultz went double diamond in 28 days. You can do it. You got to work your butt off, but you can do it. If you know your steps to success and you're teaching your team to do the same, it's duplicatable. You're going to get there. And next thing you know, you're going to be diamond, double, triple, presidential, all the way to ambassador, black diamond. And, you know, people ask me, like, how did you get to presidential? Like, did you do something different? Like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, you work hard. I've reached out to a few more people. Like, I've messaged maybe some more people. I'm not doing anything, like, there's not like a secret code or like a secret message or like a scripted, like, perfect thing to send to people. You've got to reach out to that many more people. You've got to do your steps to success a few more times. If you do it again. It's the 15th of the month and you're like, I've done my steps to success. Done my part. Print it out again, guys. Do it again. Do it again. It all goes back to that. Whenever I was at Green Carpet, and a lot of you on this call were there too, they asked some of the Black Diamonds, they said, what did y'all do to get here? Like, how do you make $100,000 a month? Like, how did you even get to Black Diamond? And they said, I did my steps of success. Like, I do that every month, and I just keep doing it. And next thing you know, we're Black Diamond. It's crazy to think that, but that's what's so, and I was telling the newbies this on the call earlier. I said, that's what's so neat about our company is that if you can get it and you can learn your steps of success, like, that's all you have to do forever. Like, our company is not saying, okay, month 1, you got to your steps of success. And then month 2, you're going to have to learn something like totally different. And then month 3, we're going to make you do this over here. Like, no, we're just like, do your steps of success. And then next month, do it again. And the next month, do it again. And just keep doing it. And then, because the thing is, people are going to quit. But if you're continuing doing that steps of success, new people are going to constantly be coming in. So you're never going to feel like your team is fading, because you're always going to have more people coming in to replace those people that are on their way out. Okay. Trying to think. That's about it. I really just wanted to really cover that steps of success, and talk about why it's so important to go diamond. Just because of those cabs, you're going to make an extra percentage off your team's group volume. And then going diamond, we say when you go diamond, that gives you the license to print money. That's what the people in the company say, Mark and Cindy. They're like, when you go diamond, it's a license to print money. And I never understood that. And I was like, what is that? What do you mean, a license to print money? But let me just tell you, the month that I went diamond, my check went from like, I think it was like a ruby, because I was a pretty high paid ruby. I think I made like $700 as a ruby. And then month I went diamond, my check was like $2,500. And then that's a pretty good jump in 1 month, just from going like from ruby, because I went from ruby to diamond. I skipped emerald. And so because you start getting those calves, you forget about that. But then your check, you see that and you're like, oh gosh, that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, go diamond, guys. Go diamond. If you are like 10 distributors away, push for it. If you're at ruby, push for diamond. Because guess what? If you don't hit diamond this month, you can hit it next month. And what if they extend the bonus next month? And you felt like, well, I'm not going to get it this month, so screw it. Like, it's too late. Like, if you don't push for it this month and they extend it next month, you're going to be kicking yourself. You're going to be like, I should have pushed for it last month because they extended it. Now, I'm not saying they're going to, but I'm just saying, if they did, you would want to think that you were that much closer to being right there, okay? And you guys, do not promote for a bonus. Do not wait for a bonus to promote. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The bonus is great and it helps, but it is not residual income. After 2 years, that bonus is gone anyway, if you get a good bonus. So, you only get paid out for 2 years. So I made this mistake. I thought, I'm just going to sit back and wait because they'll bring the bonuses back. They'll bring them back. And Jason promoted to diamond last August, and they took the bonuses away. I remember they took the bonuses away in July last year, and he was like right there. And he was boxed in for diamond in August. And I'm like, and they took him away. And I was like, well, maybe we shouldn't do it this month because maybe they'll like bring him back in September. And they never did. They didn't bring him back to like conference. And I'm like, thank God he went ahead and promoted because he started making those, that extra money. And we didn't sit around and wait for a bonus. So y'all, don't wait for a bonus. If there are bonuses, you need to be like digging your heels in and going for it. But don't promote don't not promote because there's not a bonus. I promoted to presidential last month, no bonus. But the bonus is the pay increase. The bonus is the extra percentages you get, the residual income from promoting. So when I went Ruby, there was no $500 Ruby bonus. We didn't even know that existed. That was not a thing. But I needed $500 a month to make a difference in our family. And so I didn't join this business for a Ruby bonus because they didn't have one. I joined it because we were broke as a joke and we needed help. And I went Ruby in my first 3 weeks. So don't wait for a bonus to promote. Get your mind right and say, I'm promoting this month, bonus or not. And if bonus goes away next month, I'm still going to promote because I need to go diamond to get these calves. So I hope that clarified a lot of things. I want you all to be so fired up this month. August is amazing. You got to work it to be there. There's no secret formula, just hard work. And if no one on your team is working, guys, just look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe it wasn't their vehicle, but it's mine. And I'm going to fight for it. Because there was a time when everyone on my team had quit. When I was a Ruby, I went Ruby in 28 days, but then the whole team, like, everybody quit. And so I spent like that whole first year, like building back and building and building and adding more. And there was a lot of tears. There was a lot of frustration. It was not easy. There was a time when I thought maybe I should just go back to work. Like maybe this It Works thing just is not like what I need to be doing. And I remember I called Brooke that Christmas and I was still a Ruby. I promoted Ruby in April, and I was still a Ruby to Christmas. Still a Ruby. Now I had like 50 distributors on my team because I put them all on my top line, but no one was doing anything. I just had like this dead team. And I remember I called Brooke and I was in tears and I just said, I'm stuck and like I don't know what to do, and maybe I should go back to work. And I remember she told me, she said, Kayla, don't forget why you started. Like, you started this to stay home with your little boy. And if you quit now, you're going to have to go back to work and his butt's going back to daycare. And like, I didn't want that. I just needed her to remind me of my why. And when I understood that, you know what? I've got to quit pointing the finger at everyone in my business that's not working. And I've got to take responsibility and just work my business. Get back to the steps to success and just start doing it again. Start adding more people. And let me just tell you guys, that was December of that year, 2014. And I remember I had to get my mind right because my mind was just not right. I was just pointing fingers. I was blaming. I was angry at my team. I was frustrated. I was in management mode. I started trying to tell everybody what to do instead of just doing it on my own. And that was frustrating. And let me just tell you, when I got my mind right, my business changed. I got my mind right, and I said, I've got to do it for myself because I'm the only one that can control my business. Can't control this person or this person not posting. I've got to control just me. And I promoted to Diamond in March. Like 3 months later, I went from Ruby to Diamond. And then the next month, I went double Diamond. So I went from Ruby to a double Diamond in like 3 months' time because I got my mind right and I started working my business instead of pointing fingers. So let me just tell you, it can happen. It can turn around so fast, but you've got to get this straight up here because you can do this. But if your mind's not in the right place and you're like, you've got a lot going on and you're just bogged down and you're angry at your team and you're frustrated, you're never going to get this done because you're wasting way too much time worrying about, Sarah Joe over here that signed up that was supposed to be your diamond rock star. Okay, it wasn't her vehicle, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have to be yours. Okay, so I love giving little talks because I get all fired up too. I'm like, woo, let's do this. So get your mind right, guys, because if you put your mind to it, you can do it. You can do it. I promise you, you can be right where I'm at right now. I am nobody special, like, at all. I don't have any secret magic. I just open my mouth and I'm confident in our business and I talk to people. Everywhere I go, I'm wearing my It Works shirt. I mean, I've got one on right now because it's about the only stuff that fits me these days. But everywhere I go, I've got my clothes on. Like half of the shirts are Jason's clothes that I have to wear now, his It Works shirts, but I don't care. Like, I'm going to have my It Works shirt on because it's an immediate conversation starter. Immediate. I went to the doctor yesterday. It said, "It works." Do you think if I wouldn't have been wearing an It Works shirt, she would have said anything about It Works? No, because she wouldn't have known I did It Works. But because my shirt said It Works, she's going to ask about it. Oh, what is that? What do you do? What, I told her all about it. Just opened up my whole testimony. And then at the end, she was like, her jaw was on the ground. And she was like, I have so many student loans. Me and my husband, we just bought a house. And so she's like, so how would I join your team? Like, what's the process? I mean, that conversation went from like, what's It Works to how can I join your team in my doctor's appointment. So you got to get your gear on, wear your gear, take your selfies, post them, have your It Works, be excited about it. And I shared one quick thing because I know that you'll have to go to bed and stuff, but I just want to end on this. Be like so confident in your business that people aren't going to try to trap you in a corner to make you feel stupid. Okay, does that make sense? Like if you are the victim and people know, it's kind of like if you were a nerd in school and like the bully knew they could get to you. So like they obviously were going to like bully you because they knew that they'll get a rise out of you. But the minute you stood up to yourself, they left you alone. It's kind of the same thing. Like when people like see you and they see your, not just like in person, but they see your Facebook and they see all these wonderful things you're doing with the business, they're not going to like bully you because you're doing something great with your life. And if they are, they're not your true friend anyway. And why would you even want to be like associated with somebody that's that crappy? So you need to be so confident in this business and the amazing things it's doing for not just your life, but the lives of people. It's bringing people to Christ. It's helping people get healthy. It's helping people get out of debt, get off food stamps. I mean, what's like more admirable than that? I mean, we're in the business where we're helping people. Like we're changing people's lives. And if you have people that are being mean to you or making fun of it, that's something wrong with them, not you. And so, like I said, I mean, it all goes back to just getting your mind right, to where no matter what anyone says, it's not going to affect you. People ask me all the time, I think the newbies, and I'm sure you guys get it from your new girls. What do you do when you have a hater and they make fun of you I'm like, block and move on. Like, don't think too much about it. Just block and move on because those people are not going to ever support you. So what's the point in trying to argue with someone that's not supporting you? Okay. So make sure your girls know that, like, because it is scary in the beginning. Like, we've all been in this a little bit longer, so we kind of have developed, thicker skin. But let's think about, like, when we first started and how scared we were and, like, how vulnerable and, like, one little thing, like, would really hurt our feelings. Like, let's try to, like, think about how those, our newbies feel and really just encourage them and just let them know, like, remind them, like, those people are not in your life to see you happy. Like, they don't want you to be happy and they don't want you to be successful. So why do you continue to keep them in your life? So anyways, I don't know. I just got off topic, but okay. So that's about it. I hope y'all are excited. I've been on that VIP page and everyone's just so excited. Everyone's teams are blowing up. Our numbers are up this month, guys, like over double, what they were last month at this time. So we've added, I think, 60 or 70 new loyal customers already and distributors on our team, and it's August the 4th. I think on one of our highest months, we had like 480 enrollments. So I think that if we continue on this track, we can get there. I always like throwing out numbers so that you guys can kind of see where we're at. But guys, work with people that are working. Don't worry about the people that aren't working. Quit wasting your time on them. Work with those people. Get your 3 rubies underneath you. Get with them right now after this and say, look, let's go, Ruby. What do you need? Let's chart you out. Let's see who's working under you. Okay, she's not working no more. Cross her off. Let's fill in that box. Okay? If you are boxing in for Emerald, let me just, one more thing. If you're boxing in for Emerald and you only have 2 people up here working, erase these people down here that aren't doing anything. Quit like thinking, oh, I'm only one away from Emerald. I'm never going to get there because no one's working. Okay, well, then you know what? You need to go print off a Ruby chart and go back to Ruby. Okay, build a Ruby strong. Go back to Ruby, put the people in place that are working hard, and keep going, and then grow back to Emerald. It's okay. If you were once an Emerald and things fell apart, throw it in the trash, print out a clean chart, and look at your tree viewer and see, okay, who's really working? Who really wants this? If it's just 2 people in your chart, message them. Message those 2 people and say, I want to work with you. Let's do this. Because these little piddlers down here aren't doing anything, that are ignoring your messages, making you frustrated. Let them go, okay? They'll come back when they're ready, okay? But quit wasting your time on these people that aren't working. Go get fresh meat. Go get fresh new blood, okay? Fresh meat, Taylor. All right, I'm going to go. I'm getting delirious. I need some water. I need to cool off. All right, love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good rest of the week.